Donald Trump is threatening to replace Jerome Powell or even appoint himself Fed chair, making it a fruitful moment to ask, should central banks be independent? More important, can they be independent? Or will a central bank inevitably serve their banking masters and the permanent bureaucracy, the deep state? Donald Trump has been burning up the mean tweets over Jerome Powell's strangling interest rates. He's variously called Powell very dumb, very stupid, low IQ, numbskull, major loser, and Mr. Too Late. The issue is Powell keeping interest rates at some of the highest rates in 30 years, despite inflation running a measly 1% since Trump took office. This would be in contrast to 112 years of the Fed cutting rates whenever inflation drops below 2. High rates, of course, strangles jobs, growth, consumer debt, and it keeps housing on the edge of catastrophe. Now, some economists are uneasy with the pressure campaign because study after study in monetary economics says central bank independence is a good thing, that keeping politicians and their voters away from central banks leads to lower inflation. Of course, it's important to note that most monetary economists are literally paid by the Fed, paid with money they stole from you. A 2017 University of Chicago survey found 60% receive federal or central bank funding. A 2020 study at NBER put it closer to 70%. Some economics journals are literally run by the Fed. So, yes, studies would say the Fed should be God. But even if we ignore the corruption, the problem is we don't actually have an independent Fed. So in the Fed's 112 years, average rates under Republican presidents are much higher than Democrats, 4.9% versus 3.8%. So FDR got sweetheart 1.5% rates, Reagan got 10.2%. It's even worse adjusting for inflation, 0.7% real rates for Dems, which is almost free money, 3.1% for Republicans. So that's the difference between all you can eat for Democrat presidents versus 4 years of crash diet with Nurse Ratched for the Republicans. If we focus on the period since the Nixon shock, 1971, when the gold standard was replaced with money printers gone wild, it's actually worse. Negative 0.1% real rates under Democrats, that's literally free money, and fully 2 points higher for Republicans. The one time the Fed violates all this is when it's time to bail out Wall Street, so 2008, 2001, or 1987. So what's next, brought to you by I Trust Capital. Central bank independence hands our entire economy to an unelected cartel of bankers who, in reality, deliver inflation, recession, and bailouts. Moreover, true central bank independence is impossible because a central bank will always serve the bankers and the permanent government bureaucracy who keeps them alive. To illustrate, former Fed Chair Janet Yellen was paid over $7.2 million in Wall Street speaking fees after her term. Other Fed chairs have headed cushy government-funded NGOs, gotten prestigious IMF jobs, or been rewarded with ambassadorships. The Fed, like all central banks, is a key hub of the deep state. So-called independence is nothing more than a smokescreen to give that cabal total control. Read the rest with charts and all the gory details at profsaylounge.com. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.